15 years of NFL trenches experience, talking football every week.
What was something you had or most important to wear on game day?
At football, they put it on the horses before they race.
He had to put it on with gloves.
Like, I remember I'd walk by and, burn the eyes. They'd be like, what is that? He's like, gotta ask, can't afford it. Right, you just walk away.
The O-Line Committee Podcast with Jay, the Rhino, and Mackie on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, it's Phil Shaver with HomeSmart, and I want to buy your house. I'm a local investor that buys homes for cash all over Maricopa and Pinell County. I buy inherited homes, nice homes, rental homes, homes that are behind on mortgage payments, and I even buy ugly homes that need fixing. Also, are you looking to get closer to market value for your house? As a licensed realtor, I've been able to buy and sell thousands of homes. Since I'm local, you can call me directly on my cell phone, 480-409-9999. Again, that's 480-409-9999. I don't work for a big corporation or hedge fund, so I can only buy 3 to 5 homes per month. There are no fees involved, and you can pick your own close date. The best part is I buy homes as is, so you don't have to worry about doing any repairs. Again, you can call me directly at 480-409-9999, or you can go to my website, gosoldaz.com. That's gosoldaz.com.
With a Global Credit Card, you earn reward points for every purchase. Use your rewards at checkout at many of your favorite stores, or use points instead of cash when you shop online. You can even use them to book a flight up to 3 days in advance. New York, Vegas, Albuquerque. From groceries to getaways, redeem your way. Apply for your Global Credit Card now at globalcu.org. Global Credit Union, your world of financial possibilities.
Casino Arizona is uniquely Arizona. Feel at home with the Valley's one true locals casino, from the welcoming friendly smiles to the slot win high five celebrations. Picture yourself with the coolest cast at our blackjack tables. Dine like a rock star at our buffet or Choya Steakhouse, where even the steaks are famous. Want to stack up rewards while having fun at your favorite casino? Join Salt River Rewards, and the excitement keeps rising with every return visit. Casino Arizona, uniquely Arizona. Must be 21 years of age or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
Come see us at Mark Mazda Scottsdale. Right now, you can receive 2.9% financing for up to 72 months on some of Mazda's most popular models, like the brand new 2026 Mazda CX-50 Hybrid.
The name to remember? Mark Mazda, Mark Mazda.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix. It's the lunch break.
It is the Wednesday edition of the lunch break here on KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert, producer Evan, hanging out with you today here on the show. And it's like Christmas Eve for us here on the program. One of our favorite days of the sports calendar is tomorrow. The anticipation grows by the hour, by the moment. It is the eve of the 2026 NFL Draft. It's just beautiful. I mean, yeah, just a round of applause that it is Christmas Eve for us draft nerds.
I'm a huge nerd.
That just love this day, that love this stretch of days.
The smoke screens will clear tomorrow. The path will clear.
That's right.
And the clock will start.
No more mock drafts tomorrow.
32 selections will be made.
Yeah, because there's a bunch of teams that don't have a first-round pick. A lot of teams with 2 selections in this draft.
32 selections will be made tomorrow night, and we will have a clear look at what 2 players the Cardinals will select in the first round.
What 2 players the Cardinals select in the first round? Are you assuming something that's going to occur? You also said something there that's very interesting. You said we're going to have a clear view. And I think that's exactly where I want to start today, because I think the Cardinals might do something that would change my mind about them as a team.
Time for our top story of the day. It's the Daily Special.
Now, I don't know if producer Evan is just assuming that this is what's going to happen. It has become a very popular thing to mock right now. In fact, this morning, Peter Schrager put out his latest mock draft, and he had the Cardinals making a selection at number 3 overall. And he also had them trading back into the first round to get Ty Simpson. Peter Schrager had the Cardinals selecting Jeremiah Love at number 3, and then trading up to pick number 32, hopping in front of the New York Jets to make sure that they landed Ty Simpson before the night is over. That's what he is predicting in the latest version of his mock draft. And that's where I want to start today, because I want to say something that may be a surprise to most of you. We've kind of hinted at it over the last couple of days. But if the Arizona Cardinals end night 1 of the 2026 NFL draft, if by the time our heads hit the pillow, I don't know, what would you say, around 9, 10 o'clock tomorrow night after the first round is done, and they had both Jeremiah Love and Ty Simpson on their roster, if they ended the night with their hopeful franchise quarterback and arguably the best player in the draft, even I would have to stop and give the Cardinals some credit. Now, I'm not totally on board with taking Jeremiah Love at number 3. I'm not totally on board with the idea of drafting Ty Simpson. I think both come with their fair share of risks. I think we've done a pretty good job on this show outlining what those risks are. I don't know if you're going to win in the window with Jeremiah Love. I don't know if Ty Simpson is a franchise quarterback. It's a lot of risk taking a guy in the first round, moving back into the first round to get Ty Simpson with just his 15 career starts at the collegiate level, him being undersized for the position. There's a lot of risk in taking a running back number 3 overall when your roster isn't necessarily all that ready for a running back. But this is where I'll give the Cardinals credit. Because if you'll remember, I went on a vacation middle of March. It was around the time free agency was going. And I got back, and on my first show, I came out of the gates red hot. I was fired up for that Monday show because I didn't have a clue what the Cardinals were doing in the offseason. I didn't have a clue what they were doing in free agency. Didn't feel like they were interested in Malik Willis. The Jimmy Garoppolo stuff kind of fell through their fingers. And so instead, it was Gardner Minshew. We're going to sign Isaac Samalu to shore up one of our 3 offensive line spots. We're not really going to address the other 2. And, oh, look at this. We're going to sign Tyler Algier. It felt all over the place. It felt very scattered. What did we say? We said it was kind of half-baked. It was pick a road. They tried to go down both roads. If the Cardinals end up tomorrow night landing Jeremiah Love and Ty Simpson, I will give them this. They will have picked a direction. They will have put their chips in the middle. You may not like the players they're betting on. You may not agree about this being the time to put the chips in the middle on these 2 players, but you can't take it away from them that they are picking a direction and they are definitively going down one of the 2 paths. And the other credit I will give is Monty would be putting it all on the line. There is no second chance at the quarterback. It's either going to be Ty Simpson or it's not. There is no coming back from using a top 5 pick, a top 3 pick on a running back. If that blows up in your face and it doesn't work out and we spend the next 3 years with Simpson and Love never once sniffing a postseason game. You don't get another chance at this. And so to me, if they are willing to roll the dice, if Monty in particular is willing to roll the dice, I will tip my cap and give him credit for picking a direction. I may not agree with it. In fact, I don't. I may not like it. In fact, I probably wouldn't. But at least there is a clear vision being presented. And that vision is, we got a brand new head coach in here. We got a brand new head coach in here that has an offensive background. He's an offensive mind. We're going to go out and we're going to go get him the quarterback he likes. We're going to go out and get the quarterback he loves. A guy that, by all the scouting reports, would work really well in his type of system. So we're not going to wait for next year to see what next year's class looks like, even though it looks on paper right now to be generational. We're not going to wait. We're going to go get our guy right now. For our coach that we went out and had high up on our list in the offseason, we got our coach. We're getting that coach his quarterback, but that's not good enough. We want to add the cherry on top. We're going to leave no excuses for this offense to not be better next year. We're going to leave no excuse for this team to not have every opportunity to turn it around because you got the coach, you got the quarterback, and now we're going to go get the special playmaker inside the top 5 that may be the best offensive player in the draft, may be the best overall player in the draft. We're going to go put the cherry on top and get a Jahmyr Gibbs and Alvin Kamara type back playmaker in our backfield for that offensive mind. To pair with the best tight end in the sport. To pair with a wide receiver that still has all the potential in the world in Marvin Harrison Jr. It would be a complete transformation. It would be making a declarative statement of this is our offense. This is our future. Now, if it doesn't work, Monty won't be here. Mike LaFleur won't be here, and they will be hitting the reset button again. But the credit I will give them, it is a definitive direction that I thought they were lacking in March. All throughout the offseason, we talked about Malik Willis. We talked about 3 starting offensive linemen. You want to turn this around? You don't want to have another 3-win season? Because we said Monty's got to go for it. Monty's got to try to win games. Monty's got to try to sell a vision that he's the right guy to turn it around. Well, guess what? This would be them attempting to do that. It would be Monty attempting to put together a clear vision in his own DNA, with his own fingerprints all over it. This is my coach again. This is our quarterback, because we didn't draft Kyler. This is our quarterback. This is our playmaker in Jeremiah Love. This is what we think this team needs to turn it around. It has its fair share of risks, which we've outlined. Drafting a running back number 3 overall, most of the time doesn't work out. Drafting a quarterback that has this few reps at the collegiate level, that is undersized, it comes with its fair share of risks. But it is a clear, definitive direction. Is it what I would do tomorrow night? No, it is not. Is it what I want to see tomorrow night? No, it is not. But at least it is a direction. You can understand what they are trying to do, and it aligns everybody on the same track. You've heard me talk about this all offseason long. You've got a GM whose incentives don't align with the organization. They don't align with the head coach. They don't align with the owner. He needs to win. He needs to show results now. He needs to sell a vision today. The Cardinals, as an organization, while they would rather not, they can afford to take a little bit of time. Mike LaFleur just got here. He's going to have a couple of years to build this team in his image. Monty is not afforded that luxury. But by doing this, you now more closely align everybody. The coach and the quarterback are on the same track. The quarterback and Jeremiah Love are on the same track. That's been one of our big holdups on him being the pick at 3, because you don't have a quarterback. And so now when you take a quarterback, they're misaligned in their track. You align everything together and you move Monty closer to being aligned to the coach, to the quarterback, to the running back, to the superstar player that you drafted number 3 overall. It makes it all kind of feel like it's on the same page again. That's not saying it's going to work out. That's not saying it's a good thing that they are doing this, but I can understand how they could sit in a room and this is where they get. I could understand them talking it out and going, boy, this gives us a ton to talk about. We're going to sell a ton of jerseys. We're going to sell a ton of tickets. And it is a clear vision that, let's face it, since Jonathan Gannon got here, has been lacking. So I'm not saying I'm endorsing it. I'm just saying I can understand if that's where we get to on Friday. If we get to Friday and we open with this actually coming true, I have wrapped my head around the idea of how we got here and why it makes sense in their mind.
Directionally, it would feel like they've cleared a road. And we said for a long time after free agency, it doesn't feel like they've picked a road. I don't honestly, it's still the wrong road. And I know that is not really what we want to hear. And I can logistically wrap my head around, if you want to draft a young quarterback, you take a running back earlier and you add a playmaker to take some of the pressure off him. I get it. I believe in that philosophy. But you don't have the history, the track record to make that pick. You don't have the infrastructure to make that pick. And you and I talked about it in the morning meeting. You got 2 traffic cones on the right side of this offensive line.
Again, it has its fair share of risks. This is not an endorsement of it as a strategy. I wouldn't do it if I was sitting in the chair. Because you can draft Jeremiah Love, you can draft Ty Simpson. I still worry about how they're going to protect those 2 guys. I still worry about how the offense is going to function. A reminder, it is still Mike LaFleur's first year as a head coach, and we don't know what he is as a head coach. He may not be the guy. We don't know that. I can appreciate the idea of giving him every chance to succeed if he loves Ty Simpson, if he, pun intended, loves Jeremiah Love. I can understand, let's set this guy up for success. Let's make sure he can hit the ground running right away. Yet you left the right side of the offensive line a little bit open. And maybe they draft somebody on day 2 or day 3 of the draft that turns out to be a better option than what they have on the roster, and it solves itself. But I can understand why they feel like this is the direction that they need to go in. I can wrap my head around it. Again, it comes with a whole bunch of risks. But you know what? Monty, he's kind of in a position where he needs to take some risks. I don't think his job is safe after this season. So being able to take this big swing, and if it works out, he looks like a genius.
If it works out and he's right, congratulations, Monty. You saved your job. You look great. People are going to talk about you as one of the better GMs in football. If it does not work out, though, you don't have any justifications to keep him as the general manager.
But see, this is the interesting other wrinkle to this, and we didn't bring this up in the morning meeting. But if you do this, doesn't Monty get the 3 years that you're going to give the quarterback and the coach?
Does he? Does he? I don't know.
Again, my favorite phrase, I think it's organizational malpractice to give Monty the keys to this organization, to let him potentially do this tomorrow. And if the results aren't there, him getting fired right away. And so then a new GM who didn't draft this quarterback, who didn't hire this head coach.
Agree and disagree. Because it's very different and I understand that you would have then a GM who, didn't get to see the 4 years out of a quarterback. But that's not really the case, because he had 4 years to build the roster and then place in the quarterback he wants. He failed there. Right. If the roster and the infrastructure is holding Ty Simpson back, which it will, then it's a Monty problem, period. It's not about the growth of a young quarterback.
Right. I'm more talking from the lens of, if they decided that after the end of next year, let's say they do this tomorrow night, and they decide at the end of next year, and we're getting way out in front of all this. But let's say they decided at the end of next season, you know what, this Monty guy's not our GM. You're now going to bring in a GM who didn't hire the head coach who's entering year 2, didn't draft the quarterback who's entering year 2. Is that an attractive job?
No.
So you're either getting somebody, who, I don't want to say is unqualified, but maybe you're taking somebody who's not fully ready to be a GM because they want one of these 32.
Okay, but
Or you're getting somebody who's just going to be a yes man who comes in and says, you know what, I like Mike LaFleur, I like Ty Simpson, I'm going to give this a shot. And is that really what you want?
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Would you give Mike LaFleur more power?
Again, we are getting way out in front of a lot of this. I got to see what it looks like next year.
And all of this. If Ty Simpson looks great, this isn't a conversation. But they are in a position, and it's not 1 year in with the quarterback. And I know he just hired the coach, and I know if they take Ty Simpson, that's just not really what it is.
And by the way, this is why you don't do this with your GM and a head coach, where you fire the head coach, you keep the GM, you let the GM hire the head coach, and now they're on different tracks because you put yourself in exactly the soup that we find ourselves in here discussing what they might do tomorrow night. But again, I'm not fully on board with it. But I'll tell you what, if they did it, I could understand it. And I could at least endorse the idea of they are picking a direction. And it may be a catastrophic failure. But you know what? It would be exciting. There would be some buzz around Ty Simpson and Jeremiah Love both being on this team. It to me, gets me excited for Mike LaFleur in his first year. He's going to have guys that clearly he pounded the table for. And so I love what that could potentially be. But there's no guarantee it works out.
But you're going to sit in a spot where you feel like you have to keep Monty for 3 years. I'm sorry. This is it. If one of these guys he doesn't draft, coach or quarterback aside, it doesn't matter.
And the best part about all this, they may end tomorrow night with neither one of these guys.
Correct. We could talk about this up and down. They could take Arvell Reese at 3 and move on.
They could take David Bailey at 3.
Sorry.
We'll get to that. Boy, do I have an audio clip for all of you today here on the program. You are not ready for the audio clip that I'm going to play. I think it's in hour number 2 is where I have it. I think I know what the Cardinals may be doing at number 3.
But this organization can't take another 3 years of Monty, and I don't want to sound dramatic. I don't want to overstate this. Where does he fall among the NFL GMs? In the bottom 5? Bottom 3?
I think right now you would say he's bottom 3rd of the league, yes.
So...
yeah, no, listen, there's a lot of risk associated with all of this, but I think the risk ultimately started when you decided to keep him and just get rid of Gannon.
Correct.
You've kind of invited this type of chaos. You've invited this type of risk-taking because you have a GM that needs to do something. He needs to sell a vision to this fan base, to his boss, to everybody, that I'm the right guy for this job. And boy, guess what? If they do this tomorrow, if it's Love at 3 and it's Simpson in the back part of the first round, they are the team everybody is talking about Thursday night and Friday morning.
And Monty was the type or the guy who we saw the press conference didn't look like he wanted to move on from JG. Is he, how far is he willing to go to get himself a couple more years as the GM?
Tomorrow's going to be fascinating.
It's going to be fascinating.
This is just one angle of it all. And, we're going to do a dueling draft here today. And the beautiful part is we have an entire show tomorrow to kind of actually give our full-blown predictions on what we think is going to happen. Because at this stage, I don't have a clue. I really don't know what the Cardinals are going to do tomorrow. I think Jeremiah Love is probably the pick, but I have no idea. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also join us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, it happened again last night. The Diamondbacks, they are allergic to the one big inning. We'll talk about it next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
ASU baseball this Wednesday night right here on KDUS AM 1060. Join the Sun Devils as they take on New Mexico State for another midweek matchup. Head coach Lee Bloomquist is ready to show that his team's strengths don't take weekdays off. Join the voice of the Sun Devils, Tim Healy, on the call live. It's ASU versus New Mexico State this Wednesday. Pregame at 6:15 p.m. and first pitch at 6:35 right here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS.com and the KDUS app.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing a lawyer, but getting some guy who just watches courtroom dramas.
How does the defendant plead?
Guilty.
Wait, what?
Also, objection.
You object to what?
Erroneous.
Counsel, approach the bench.
Hey, can I get a whack at the gavel?
You wouldn't settle for just any lawyer, so don't settle for just any insurance. Get the real deal with State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The Psychedelic Furs are back, live. 28th, 7:30 p.m. at the Celebrity Theater. The Psychedelic Furs. Playing all the hits with special guests. We Are Scientists. Tickets on sale now at celebritytheater.com. The Psychedelic Furs, brought to you by Danny Zalisco Presents.
If you're a fan of any sport on the planet, college or pro, then we are right where you want to be. The place to come when you want to have too much fun. Real sports fans need a sports book powered by Hard Rock Bet. follow the money line to Twin Arrows and too much fun. Twin Arrows. The best indoor tailgate party in Flagstaff with massive HD screens, cold drinks, game time food specials, and best service is at Arrow Sports Bar. After the game, get back in the game at craps, blackjack, and slots. Now that's too much fun. The place to come when you want to have too much fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
Did the Knicks choke last night in the Garden, or did the Atlanta Hawks rip Game 2 from them? And per usual, the answer is yes. You blow a 14-point lead at home, miss that many open shots, clink that many free throws, and fail to take care of the rock, then yes, of course, they went into the tank. But credit C.J. McCollum for turning back the clock and going off for 32. Jonathan Kuminga for coming off the bench and catching fire, and head coach Quinn Snyder for turning Mike Brown inside out. And yes, Brown is catching a lot of heat today for having his two best players, Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns, on the bench for two long stretches. And no, that doesn't make any sense. But it's not like those two were doing enough when they were on the floor. No one who matters thought the Knicks would get out of the Eastern Conference this year anyway, but asking them to get out of the first round is not too much to ask. Or with this crew, maybe it actually is. I'm Jim Rome. And remember, you can follow me on Instagram at Jim Rome. Jim Rome here. True story. I married the best person I've ever met, Janet. And not only that, but the best mother I know. So would it not stand to reason that I would get her the very best gift for Mother's Day? Aura Frames. What an absolutely amazing product. I love it so much. And more importantly, she does. Save on gifts that moms love at auraframes.com. For a limited time, get $25 off the Carver mat frame. That's the one we have. You have to use the code ROME, R-O-M-E. Support this show by mentioning the Jim Rome Show at checkout. Terms and conditions do apply. auraframes.com.
O'Reilly. Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. The service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we could recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. is MMA Friday on the Sports Zoo with official UFC ranker Scott Lewis, brought to you by RTO Sullivan's, your home for every UFC event. The Sports Zoo is the only show in the Valley that gives you 1 full hour of MMA every week, featuring Scott Lewis's official UFC ranking changes, fight predictions for every weekly event, shocking MMA stories, and more. So tune in every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. and then head to RTO Sullivan's every Saturday to watch the fights. Go to RTOSullivans.com for a location near you.
It happened again yesterday. The one big inning. Crooked numbers being put up by the opposition against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Last night it was Merrill Kelly, a 4 spot in the first, a 3 spot in the second. On Sunday, it was Ryan Nelson, 8 runs. First 8 guys reached base, and it was following a similar track last night. Was it the first 4 or 5 batters of the game reached base for the White Sox?
Yeah, the first 5.
It felt like deja vu. Felt like you were watching the same thing that you saw on Sunday. And all throughout the beginning of this season, if I had to say one thing that is doomed this Diamondbacks team, it's they're kind of allergic to this one big inning. It just tends to happen. And producer Evan asked me a question. Does it matter? Does it matter that this is happening? And I think it does, only because of the frequency in which it is occurring. If this was a here and there type of ordeal, I probably wouldn't be harping on it as much. But it happened to Merrill Kelly last night. It happened to Ryan Nelson on Sunday. It happened to Zach Gallen in his first start of the year. It's happened to bullpen arms. It's happened to Mike Soroka. It's happened to Brandon Pfaadt. I mean, everybody, basically, outside of Eduardo Rodriguez, it has happened to.
Yeah, that's it. Mike Soroka has the one big inning. Erod is the only one that has escaped this at all.
And because of the frequency in which it is happening, it does become somewhat troubling. But here's the one thing I will say to you. I don't know what the fix is. There isn't a magical answer to why this keeps happening. Now, we looked at it. I'll play the drop.
I'm a huge nerd.
We looked at the numbers. And the Diamondbacks, with runners on base, anywhere, first, second, third, first and second, first and third, just a man on base, as a pitching staff, teams are hitting 288, 289 against them with runners on base. And so is it a pitching out of the stretch issue for some of these starters? Is it these inherited runners for the relievers? What is possibly going wrong that has led this team to have these one bad inning and the game's basically over when it happens? Now, mind you, there was naturally going to be some regression for the pitching to start the year because they were very good. And Jack Summers put out a really good tweet this morning that kind of showed the Diamondbacks are starting to get closer and closer to what their expected ERA is, and that's a blend of ERA and Sierra and FIP and expected ERA and expected FIP.
I'm a huge nerd.
I got it. I understand. A lot of numbers in there, but just the expected ERA is more in line with what the quality of the contact, how hard it's being hit, where it's being hit, all of that stuff kind of is factored in. And the Diamondbacks were kind of overperforming a little bit, is the best way to describe it. Overperforming what the underlying numbers say. And so there is at some point probably going to be a regression. But this has been a thing all season long, and I don't know what to do about it. I do think it is concerning that it's basically happening to everybody. And it's not like it's happening to one person over and over and over again. The answer there is, all right, just remove that person from the rotation, or that person no longer gets high leverage situations out of the bullpen. Like, that's the easy fix. But when it's a different person, sometimes it's a starter, sometimes it's a reliever, it's hard to pinpoint what you do to fix this type of issue. But it's the thing that's stopping them from winning some games, or at least being in games to have a chance to win. And we saw last year, you didn't miss the playoffs by all that much. Every game matters. And so when you have these types of games that you are just kind of giving away the last 2 days before it even starts, it's hard to pick yourself up off the mat from those.
It's almost impossible, right? And this team has made kind of a lifeline on coming back and being the quote answer backs. But I mean, night in and night out, you gotta climb out of a 4-run hole, a 5-run hole. Like, again last night, you're down 4-0 before you take a swing.
Before you put somebody in the batter's box, it is 4-0. You haven't even gone one turn through the lineup. It's 7-0. By the way, don't pitch to Murakami today. Just a suggestion.
Yesterday, we were talking about sweeping this team, right? And you took 2 or 3 from Toronto. You had the clunker on Sunday. Okay.
And by the
way,
you
won the series.
I'm not worried about Merrill Kelly.
But it changes the perspective to see it happen 2 days in a row. And I think the White Sox are a better team than maybe they're getting credit for from a national perspective.
It shouldn't be
I
that.
mean, they're not.
It shouldn't be that.
They shouldn't be putting 11 on the Diamondbacks. It shouldn't be 7-0 before I come out of the bathroom and flip the game on. Like, what happened?
Right. And it's happened 2 nights in a row.
And it's happened 2 nights in a row. And this is the same thing they've gone through for not only this year, but, I mean, reach back into the past. Last year, they gave up big innings.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
Yeah, it is a problem. And I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but Torrey kind of mentioned the idea of they've got some off days built in here because they got that series coming up in Mexico City with the Padres, of maybe reordering their rotation a little bit. In the order, and making sure that we're not throwing guys that have similar stuff and, same arm angles and arm slots so that guys can get into a flow. Maybe that's part of it. You can tweak some stuff like that, but it just feels like it's not one thing, right? It's not one person. It's not one spot in the rotation. It's not one relief arm. It's kind of like a sickness that's just being passed from person to person.
For the D-backs, specifically in this staff, and I don't really know what it is, but it feels like, when we talk about pitchers and you say, that guy doesn't have his best stuff tonight, but he gave you 6 innings. He put up a quality start.
Yeah.
Like, you see the best pitchers in baseball. Like, on a night, Skeens doesn't have his best stuff, but he battled today or, whatever it is. Skeens probably a bad example because of the opening day thing, but whatever.
Point
It
taken.
just doesn't feel like the D-backs. Like, when things start to go sideways,
They go sideways. The wheels are falling off. The engine's smoking.
You don't see the D-backs where, like, man, that's a bad inning there from Merrill Kelly. But if he gets a strikeout, he gets a ground ball here, he's out of it. It just feels like they don't do that comparatively to some of the other aces in baseball.
I'll give Merrill this last night. He fought back to eat up some innings for them.
He did. He did.
Because
that's a bad example. And Mike Soroka did it in Philadelphia after giving up the big first.
But I understand your point of you got to give your team a chance to win. And it feels like when things go south for the Diamondbacks, it goes south in a hurry, and it goes south just quickly. And the wheels are falling off, the engine's smoking. Like it went from we're just cruising along the road, everything's great, to we're pulled over, we can't move.
And
like
I would love to know the stats on how many times this team has given up 4 runs in an inning or, had a big inning.
That's good.
And then find how many times they do that and do it twice in a game. Because it feels like when one big inning happens,
comes in bunches.
It comes in bunches where you get 2 or 3 in the same game. You don't see them win 6-5 where they give up a 5-run inning. It's like they'll win 12-11. They gave up 2 5-run innings and a run in the ninth.
Let me try to find some stats here for you, because I looked at their numbers with guys on base, and with nobody on base, teams are hitting 228 against them. With men on base, teams are hitting 278 against them. With runners in scoring position, teams are hitting 288 with a 842 OPS. So when they have runners in scoring position, they're not getting out of those jams. That's a stat to keep in mind. They have to really limit the damage that happens there. But yeah, it is really the one thing that you can knock this team for right now, that they just seem to be allergic to the big inning. And John, who was at the game last night, said the 3 homers were really bad. Morale just left the park. And yeah, I mean, when something like that happens, 3 homers in a row, like,
it's hard.
It's hard to keep the energy at that point. Again, you blink and it's 7-0. Evan, there were probably people who didn't get to their seats.
For 7-0.
It was 7-0.
You could not get a value dog and a value beer before the game was 4-0.
Right.
By the time you sat down, the first 5 guys had reached base.
Yeah, it was rough last night. Now, again, this is a White Sox team that you should be able to bounce back against. You should very easily win the next 2 games, and you should wipe the slate clean. But this is something that has happened at the beginning of the year that is kind of getting in the way from them, I think, being even better than they've been so far.
I was going to say, and it doesn't take away from how good their start has been. But this is the problem where you say they're 13-10. In the last 2 years, they've missed it by a cumulative, 3 games? Right, over 2 seasons. And felt like you could have taken advantage of maybe 2 more games here. And instead of 13-10, you're looking at 15-8. I know that's getting nitpicky, but early in the season, it feels like a small issue.
And if we're in September and they're 1 game back of the playoffs, it's not going to feel like it's that small of an issue.
No.
480-864-1060, the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. Also, chat away with us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. We got comments in there about the Cardinals taking both Jeremiah Love and Ty Simpson tomorrow. You're weighing in on the Diamondbacks as well. Would love to hear from you on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube channel. When we come back, it is Game 2 tonight. Will it be any different for the Phoenix Suns? That's next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
ASU baseball this Wednesday night right here on KDUS AM 1060. Join the Sun Devils as they take on New Mexico State for another midweek matchup. Head coach Willie Bloomquist is ready to show that his team's strengths don't take weekdays off. Join the voice of the Sun Devils, Tim Healy, on the call live. It's ASU versus New Mexico State this Wednesday. Pregame at 6:15 p.m. and first pitch at 6:35 right here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS.com and the KDUS app.
Beat the spring cleaning rush with big savings and priority bookings by calling our heroes over at Zero Res Hey, it's Audrey. I have personal experience with Zero Res. They came in and completely made my home smell way more fresh than it did. And it's not because I smell funky. It's because, I've got pets, and I had family over during the holidays, so we'll blame it on them. And they came and completely helped change my winter blues into springtime cleans. Zero Res removes all of that winter buildup and lingering odors, giving your home a fresh, spring-ready feel, preparing your home for the brighter days ahead. And don't forget about your air ducts, because they are the lungs of your home. And if they're dirty, your indoor air quality is going to suffer. This month, get 3 rooms, Zero Resified from Phoenix's #1 carpet cleaner, starting at just $129. And whenever you mention KDUS, receive a free hallway cleaning and take $75 off your air duct cleanings. Call Zero Res right now at 480-507-2419 or go online at ZeroResPhoenix.com and say you want the KDUS special.
I'm Dan Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, millions of people called us for representation. Why? Because trust grows when you win, and we've won a lot. Over $30 billion and counting. When you call America's largest injury law firm, you're calling a family. You're calling an army, our army. You're calling somebody who will fight for you. Injured? Let our family fight for your family. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Arizona lawyer will handle Arizona cases. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Bob Dylan in person. One night only. June 23rd, Arizona Financial Theater. Bob Dylan. Plus Lucinda Williams and her band. And the John Doe Folk Trio. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Bob Dylan Live, plus Lucinda Williams and her band, and the John Doe Folk Trio. Show starts promptly at 7 p.m.
To 15-year-old Harper, buying an $80 vintage rock t-shirt is a great investment. To Harper's mom, this logic has a few holes in it. So she helped Harper open a Wells Fargo Clear Access banking account. With no overdraft fees and tools to track spending, Harper's learning. One heavy metal tea at a time. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Terms apply. Visit wellsfargo.com/deposit disclosures for fees and details.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights, at home or at work. We'll make your happy place your own. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Tom Izzo, Michigan State head basketball coach.
I've had more than a couple job offers in the NBA and looked at one last year with Phoenix, and my former player, Matt Ispia. And that was hard. That was a hard thing to turn down because, number one, I kind of wanted to go with him. Number two,
so they offered you the head coaching job?
Well, we talked seriously about it, let's say that.
Weekdays, 6 to 9 a.m. on KDUS AM 1060.
Game 2 tonight. The Phoenix Suns, the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Suns looking to potentially get on the board, get this series back to Phoenix all tied up at 1. And I think where we need to start before we talk about the Suns winning a game in this series is that they need to play better than they did in game 1. And I don't think this is a outlandish, revolutionary take. I think the Suns are going to play better at some point in the series. It could be as early as tonight. I don't think they're going to play as bad as they did in game 1 every single game of this series. Now, unfortunately, game 1 has looked very similar to the way they've played basically since the middle of February. And so it's been a very long run of this kind of basketball. But I know that if the Suns play closer to their best, they can be competitive with Oklahoma City. They've beaten them once this season. I'm throwing out that game at the end. And they were really competitive against them in Oklahoma City in that NBA Cup game. So I know it's possible for them to play better and be more competitive than they were in game 1. And I think at some point over at least the next 3 games, because that's all that's guaranteed, I think they can do that. The question remains, is that going to be good enough for them to win a game in this series. And let me tell you, there's a difference between winning tonight's game to send this back to Phoenix, send this back here, all tied up at 1, versus winning one of the 2 games at home en route to a gentleman's sweep for Oklahoma City. There's a difference between winning game 2 tonight and winning, game 4 to just force it back to Oklahoma City for a game 5. It's a difference.
The feeling you have of winning game 2 to tie the series, bring it home. We know all the quotes, right? The series doesn't start till an away team wins
and
one.
You would be the away
and
team
you would be the away team winning one. Like, on paper, you would say you're in a better spot than most. You stole one on the road. You're coming back home in a 1-1 series. On paper, all of that's good. Do I think that gives them a chance in the series? No.
But you feel better.
But you feel better, and you feel like in a game in which Oklahoma City didn't look at it as a throwaway because it's game 2 in a 1-0 series, you stole one.
And I'll say this too, right? You watched Portland last night. Wemby goes out with the concussion. They steal the game in San Antonio. Look at what the 76ers do. By the way, we are on a generational run here on this program, jinxing teams. You yesterday said, no, can't wait. Boston going to be up 2-0. Philly wins. I think I joined you in being like, I watched Boston in game 1. No chance they lose that series. We are on a generational run
and by
of
the way,
jinxing
it
teams
was
right
so
now.
funny. It took the Sixers. I don't know if you watched any
I
of it.
did not, no.
It took the Sixers the best game they've played all year. They shot 50% from 3. They're the one of the worst 3-point shooting teams in the league. And did you see how many threes the Celtics missed yesterday?
I'm assuming it was a lot.
30.
I'm just stunned on how bad we're doing right now in predicting individual game results.
Which is crazy.
We're just on a
in
terrible
the
run.
NHL, my buddies keep texting me, like, Evan, who do you like tonight? I'm undefeated in the playoffs.
Everything else, though? Well, no, because you're not sharing those picks on the show.
Because we don't talk about hockey,
Right,
because we don't have a team.
Any of the picks that we're sharing on the show?
If I said it on the show, it's wrong. So I'm so hot in the NHL right now from my buddies, I can't even put those out on the airwaves.
Don't even want to. Don't even want to jinx it. I think the Suns can play better tonight. I think the expectation should be that they can play better tonight. I will tell you what worries me, though. Jordan Ott comes out and says, we're not going to play iso ball. We can't play iso ball against this team. And then Dylan Brooks says, well, if I have a chance to go iso ball against SGA, I'm going to take it. I don't love the coach saying we're not going to do something, and then the player who, let's face it, we like having him on our team. We like watching him play, but he's known for being a little bit of a troublemaker. Now kind of going against his coach ahead of a game 2 that, let's face it, they got to win if they're going to make this a competitive series. If they come back here 2-0, Oklahoma City's going to smell the blood in the water, and they're going to try to make this 4 or 5 games.
100%.
You win tonight. You respond. See, this is why tonight winning is so huge. Not only does it make the series 1-1 coming back to Phoenix, but you respond to getting absolutely outclassed, outmatched, destroyed by Oklahoma City in game 1. If you can get yourself up off the mat, we have not seen them do this in a long time. If you can get yourself up off the mat and throw a counterpunch tonight and beat Oklahoma City when you may not have Mark Williams, you may not have Jordan Goodwin, you may not have Grayson Allen, they're all listed as questionable for tonight. If you're able to do that with or without those guys, and you're able to even this series up, it's going to give that room a ton of confidence that they can maybe not win the series,
but compete.
But this is not, they're not going to go quietly.
You win tonight, that locker room believes they can win the series. I'll tell you that wholeheartedly.
If you lose tonight and you lose similarly to the way that you did in game 1,
you lose
it's over.
Everything.
It's over. It's over.
100%.
So huge game tonight. And again, I think they can play better, right? They can rebound the basketball more. Can we see, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but can we see Rasheer Fleming on the floor when the game is actually meaningful, when not a blowout? Can we do that, please? Can we get some size? Please. Can we see more Kaman Malawach? If Mark Williams isn't available tonight, can we go with the guy who has the size? I get it. He's a rookie. He's going to make mistakes. I get it, Jordan. You think you can win this series, but you got to play these guys. They give you the best chance. And guess what? It's not like Oso is lighting the world on fire. It's not like the guys you have in place of Rasheer Fleming are solving the issue. The small ball lineup that you're running with those guys isn't working. So you might as well try something different. But you haven't been trying anything different since basically the middle of February. So I think they can play better. I just don't know if it's going to be enough. But if it is, if they're able to win tonight and get this series back 1-1, boy, that would be a statement. Would be very much a statement by the Phoenix Suns after they got blown out, and everyone's probably already writing the obituary. They're already writing the sweep stories for Oklahoma City, for them to dust themselves up off the mat, to do what Portland did last night in San Antonio, to do what Philadelphia did in Boston, even up this series, and just put a little bit of pressure. Because guess what? As the 8th seed, there's no pressure on you. There's no pressure on the Phoenix Suns in this series. Right now, there's no pressure on Oklahoma City. You can put pressure on them by winning tonight. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also chat away with us, the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, is trading back the best scenario for the Arizona Cardinals? That's next, the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
Every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. is MMA Friday on the Sports Zoo with official UFC ranker Scott Lewis, brought to you by RT O'Sullivan's, your home for every UFC event. The Sports Zoo is the only show in the Valley that gives you 1 full hour of MMA every week, featuring Scott Lewis's official UFC ranking changes, fight predictions for every weekly event, shocking MMA stories, and more. So tune in every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. and then head to RT O'Sullivan's every Saturday to watch the fights. Go to RTOSullivans.com for a location near you.
If you're hurt in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, everything can change fast. That's when the attorneys at Sweet James step in. They help you understand your rights, connect you with medical care, and pursue the compensation you may be entitled to. You don't pay anything unless your case is resolved successfully, and help is available 24 hours a day. If you've been injured, call Sweet James for a free case review. Hablamos Español. 800-900-800-900-0000. SweetJames.com. This advertisement is paid for by Sweet James LLP. Responsible attorney, Bobby Tick-Heavy. Offices in California. No guarantee of results.
My Chemical Romance. The Black Parade 2026. Live at Chase Field, September 6th, 2026. With special guest, Jimmy Eat World. Get tickets now at livenation.com. For more, visit mychemicalromance.com.
Big fat news. Del yeah. Big Fat Tacos are back at Del Taco. Get these toasty flatbread tacos with seasoned beef, grilled chicken, or carne asada steak. Right now, grab 2 grilled chicken Big Fat Tacos for just $6 small. Need a little something extra? For a limited time, score Del's classic snack tacos with seasoned beef and fresh house grated cheddar for just 59 cents each. Only at Del Taco. Price and participation may vary.
When I scraped my car in that parking garage, I was worried that it could be a long process to take care of it. Like a landscaper's first day trimming a hedge maze.
I have definitely already been here. Now, was it left, right, or right, left? Well, maybe I'll cut a path out and find my way back later.
But it wasn't like that. I filed a claim in under 2 minutes on the Geico app, and they handled it from there. It was taken care of almost as quickly as it happened.
It feels good to get help quick. It feels good to Geico.
Join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Beerstein.
Was Kevin Durant out because it is a 7-game series and we could afford to lose a game? Maybe. I was surprised to see him on the bench. Everyone was surprised. The odds makers were surprised. Who knew that the Houston Rockets without Durant can't find someone to make a bucket? You know, Sengun's a very good player, and in years past, he might have been the guy to try and carry the load, but it didn't look good at all for the Rockets without KD.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m.
All this talk about taking Jeremiah Love or Arvell Reese or David Bailey, is it actually trading down that is the best course of action for the Arizona Cardinals? Now, producer Evan, I don't know if you saw this, but the Cowboys are doing their pre-draft press conference today. I think it may be over, but I saw Stephen Jones say it's not possible to trade inside the top 5.
It's not possible.
He said it's not possible to trade inside the top 5. Now, is that because they don't want to give up 12 and 20?
That's the only reason it wouldn't be possible.
So does that mean we should just cross off the Cowboys on the
Dallas Cowboys will be picking at 12 and 20.
Well, they just won't be picking inside the top 5.
The Dallas Cowboys will pick 6 through 20.
At some point, they'll make a selection in there, yeah. So I think we can cross the Cowboys off the potential trade partners.
Just love, they're so funny. They can't stop saying things like, you cannot trade into the top 5, because guess what happens when a team tomorrow trades into the top 5? They're going to look ridiculous.
I'd like to play 2 truths and a lie with everybody in the audience. I'm gonna name 3 things from today's media availability, okay? For the Cowboys. 1, Stephen Jones says that they cannot trade into the top 5. It's not possible. 2, former President Bill Clinton showed up. 3, they said that they are not working out an extension with George Pickens. He's going to play on the franchise tag. Which one of those things is the lie of the 3? Spoiler alert, they're all true. All 3 of those things happened in the press conference today. Not possible to trade inside the top 5. George Pickens is going to play on the franchise tag, and then just randomly a door opened up and former President Bill Clinton walked out, and they just started talking about stuff not related to football.
Not at all related to football.
What?
The Dallas Cowboys.
Things are different in Dallas, man.
It's just a spectacle.
Things are different down there. Now back to the Cardinals real quick. Because I've got to come to terms with the idea of Jeremiah Love and Ty Simpson. And there's part of me that is kind of liking it a little bit. Not a lot of it, but just right now, I'm okay with it. I still think trading down is the best play. And it's because I don't know how much trust I have in this general manager. Because I want you to look at his last 3 drafts. 23, 24, and 25. The 3 drafts that he's overseen as the general manager. There's no Pro Bowlers in there. There's no All-Pros in there. There's no slam dunk home runs. There's some nice players. I think Walter Nolan's a nice player. I think Paris Johnson Jr. is a nice player. I think Garrett Williams, Will Johnson, those are nice players. And maybe in the future they turn out to be Pro Bowlers. I think in the case of the 3 corners that they have, Melton, Williams, and Johnson, if those guys can stay healthy for a full season, I think there's a chance they could have a Pro Bowl caliber season. I think if Paris Johnson stays healthy, he could have a Pro Bowl caliber season. But right now he doesn't have any of that on his resume. And so I think I want as many picks as possible. I think I want as many swings, because the swings we have taken so far haven't been great. They've been good, not great. I'm looking for great. And maybe the best way to get to great is to have multiple swings at this. Now, in theory, picking inside the top 3 and with a quarterback going number 1, being able to take one of the 2 best non-quarterbacks on the board, you would think that a Pro Bowler is possible there. But we've seen the Cardinals pick inside the top 5 twice under Monty. The first year they traded back and then up to get Paris Johnson. And then the other time they took Marv with the number 4 overall pick. So even when they've picked inside the top 6, it hasn't led to the All-Pros, the Pro Bowlers. And so give me as many swings as possible. Move from 3 to 9. Chiefs want to come up? Please be my guest. If the Cowboys change their mind and all of a sudden they think it's possible to move inside the top 5, please, we would love to hear from you, Dallas. Give me 12, give me 20, give me as many swings at this as possible to get impactful superstar-type players. Because that's the one thing that's been missing from Monty. His free agencies have left a lot to be desired, but the draft, which is really where we should be focusing, there's no superstars in here. There's none. There's no superstars in the players that he's drafted. There's good players. And guess what? You need to mix in some good players along with your superstars. It can't just be superstar or bust. You got to mix in some good value late. But you need the superstars. You need the blue chips. Cardinals don't have any of those. They've got some guys that could potentially be that, but not right now. So trading down may be the right strategy. Give me the most swings, the most chances to find that superstar. Instead of just putting all my eggs in the basket of Jeremiah Love at number 3 to be that Pro Bowler, to be that superstar. Hour number 1 of the program in the books. Buy or sell, dueling drafts, and more Cardinals draft talk in hour number 2 next. The lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
A multi-billion-dollar settlement is paying claims for up to 21 years. If you were exposed to weed killers at work or at home, your rights are affected. If you or your family has or had non-Hodgkin lymphoma, you could receive $6,000 to $165,000 or more. This settlement impacts you even if you're not sick, because this blood cancer can take 10 to 15 years to appear. If you stay in the settlement, you give up your right to sue. Learn more at weedkillerclass.com or call 888-403-8201. Paid for by the Roundup Settlement.
The Avett Brothers and Mike Patton present Avett Patton Performing Live at Arizona Financial Theater, May 12th. Avett Patton. On sale now at livenation.com.
Helping your money do more means putting yourself in the financial driver's seat.
Oh, yeah.
And there's no better or more literal way to do that than with a low-rate auto loan from America First Credit Union. Plus, for a limited time, when you finance your new vehicle with America First, you'll enjoy no payments for 90 days. And that means getting more mileage out of every cent you spend. So make your money move. Head to AmericaFirst.com to apply for pre-approval of your low-rate auto loan today. Eligibility, terms, conditions, and creditworthiness apply. Subject to change. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal opportunity lender.
When I was a kid, my dream wasn't a mansion. It wasn't a yacht. It was a 250cc Kawasaki dirt bike sitting in the garage. That garage and that bike represented freedom. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello. At A1 Garage Door Service, we know your garage holds more than tools. It holds dreams. From repairs to upgrades, call A1 Garage Door Service today or schedule online at a1garage.com.
A1 from day one.
Come see us at Mark Mazda Scottsdale. Check out the all-new redesigned 2026 Mazda CX-5. Or you can receive 2.9% APR for 72 full months on some of Mazda's most popular models, like the 2026 Mazda CX-50 Hybrid.
Don't know what to do with your trade? We'll give you $8,000 minimum for any trade, no matter what shape it's in, as long as it runs based on the actual MSRP. And if $8,000 is the minimum, think what your good trade might be worth.
The name to remember? Mark Mazda. Mark Mazda. On approved credit plus 998.B.
Meineke always treats your car like it's their own. With over 50 years of experience, Meineke's certified technicians will diagnose and fix any issue with precision and care. Schedule an appointment at Meineke.com. Trust your key with Meineke. Meineke, doing car care right.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Hour number 2 of the lunch break here on KDUS AM 1060, which means we've moved an hour closer to the NFL draft. Just saying. We've moved an hour closer.
Wednesday.
To the NFL draft.
We are. Just to make sure everybody knows this. 29 hours.
It's beautiful. 29 hours away.
We are 29 hours and 28 hours and 29 hours and 3 minutes. Number 3rd. I'm a huge nerd. Okay. Give me a second. 29 hours and 10 minutes from the Cardinals being on the clock.
We got there.
It was bad math, and I was waiting for the clock to catch up with me. I'm a huge Moon guy. That was a terrible 2 minutes. The D-backs will have to finish in the top 10 in runs if they want to make the postseason.
Is this I would assume this is a indictment on their pitching staff.
That would be correct, my friend.
And you're saying top 10 in all of baseball?
Yes.
They sit 15th right now in runs. I wanted to get an accurate. Yeah, I'm going to say their offense needs to be better. Because I do think there's going to continue to be some regression. Like, maybe he's figured it out, but consider me skeptical that Mike Soroka is going to be able to do this over the course of 162. Again, he's been great, but just put me still in the skeptical camp at this moment in time.
I'll sit there for Erod as well.
Right. I mean, he's been great.
Hand up.
But
I like Eduardo. I'll be in the skeptical category.
You expect a little bit of a regression there.
Yep.
And say, how do you make up
100%.
How do you make up from that? You get some positive regression from Geraldo Perdomo. You get some positive regression from Ketel Marte.
The Cardinals don't have to get into the 20s to take Ty Simpson. They will be able to do it at 31 or 32.
I just don't think so. I know that's what Peter Schrager did today. He had to move up to 32 to just hop the Jets. I think it's going to have to be sooner than that. You got to worry about the Jets with a couple of picks. I think you have to worry a little bit about the Browns. Although now the more that I talk this out, there aren't a ton of teams in their way. But the Jets have...
I think as we've gotten closer to the draft, too, it feels like they could take him at 32.
The Jets feel like the big problem. And the reason why I feel like the Jets are the big problem...
Because they have 16 and 33.
And 44.
And 44.
So if they need to if they want to stay at 16 and then move back into 20, and there hasn't been any reporting that they want to do this, but they've got 33 and 44.
Think about what the Jets could do tomorrow.
Again, I don't think they will.
Knock on wood. Here's what your Jets could walk away with tomorrow. You ready?
Okay.
Do you want to do the thing?
Is it they could take
Arvell Reese,
and that's who they're taking at number 2. I have a sound clip that all but confirms it.
Malachi Lemon.
Or Makai Lemon.
Makai Lemon.
Makai Lemon and Arvell Reese just on its own is fine.
And then Ty Simpson.
Yeah, this is going to sound really stupid.
What if the Cardinals can't, what if they just Jets stay at 33 and the Cardinals can't move up and they take Ty Simpson?
This is going to sound really stupid. But
Okay.
I think you're going to understand what I'm saying. If they get Reese and Lemon, I think it emboldens them more to try to take a swing at Simpson.
I agree.
If they miss on some of the
if you miss on Simpson,
no. What I'm saying is, like, if you want you can have Reese at 2 because you're the draft starts with you, right? So you're going to get Reese. If Lemon's the wide receiver you want, and he's not on the board, and you don't love a lot of the other wide receivers, well, now you're maybe pivoting to plan B, and maybe you don't want to take even more risk with Simpson. Whereas we get Reese, we get Lemon, you're probably feeling good. You're like, you know what? Let's roll the dice.
that's exactly what it's going to be. If you're the Jets and Lemon's the receiver you want and you get Reese at 2 because that's all but confirmed.
Again, we have an audio clip that I think confirms Arvell Reese is the pick at number 2.
I don't know how you don't say, hey, we're hot. We're red hot right now.
Let's go.
That would be terrible for the Cardinals.
So I think they're going to have to move up if the Cardinals
into the 20s.
Yeah.
What's the range there? 22? What's that? Chargers at 22, Eagles at 23. There's that one stretch where I think, to be honest, I keep calling it the Maxi Hanator 4, which is the 27 through 30. I believe I don't know if I have the order. I believe it's San Fran, Houston, Miami again at 30, and then it is at 29. It's Kansas City.
Yeah, San Fran, Houston, Kansas City, Miami, 27 through 30.
Yeah, that's what I call the core Maxi Hanator 4.
I think Buffalo could be in play at 26 if you wanted to move up the 8 spots. It's going to cost you a lot.
You don't think it? Can I tell you what it depends on at Buffalo? What receivers there?
You are just obsessed with this idea that they're taking a receiver.
They are.
I just don't think they are.
They are.
I was going to do something a little aggressive.
What were we going to do?
I was going to add 25 wings to my ledger to try to get 25 wings taken off on the Bills not taking.
How many wings is it?
It's 250. And don't worry, we haven't lost sight of it. We've also made one tweak to it. That
how about this? I'll bet you 25 wings.
Yeah, but I don't want to eat 275 wings. I don't want to add to the ledger. That's the thing that stopped me.
But I'll eat the 25 wings.
No. I just want it to be 225 instead of 250. I just want to have to
Yeah,
eat
but
less.
I'll eat the 25 to give me a 25.
And don't think we forgot about that. We're just planning it because what we've decided is instead of it just being 10 consecutive days, including the weekend, it is going to be 2 weeks worth of shows.
Correct.
And I will be eating the wings, not all of them, but the wings will be a part of the shows for those 2 weeks.
Yes, our daily special is just going to be wing eating.
I'm just going to eat a wing during the program. Gosh, 250 wings, all because I couldn't pick the Super Bowl correctly. Oh, it was really before that because I didn't have a choice in the Super Bowl.
I was going to say it was actually the NFC AFC title game.
I had like a 6-point lead with like 2 weeks to go in the regular season, I think.
You know what it was? You had a 2-point week and I had a 6-point week.
Yeah.
I think it was the last week of the regular season.
It's when you get hot,
And do you know what the biggest swing was? It comes down to one team.
Now wait a second. I don't appreciate what Code is saying. That the Wings saga is going to stretch out further than the deferred money on Shoei's contract. It has to be it has to be done by July 4th. We've talked about this. We've always had that as the end date.
Yes.
And by the way, when we were originally doing the hot dogs, the culmination of it was going to be us as a show and whoever wanted to join us. We were going to go to a Diamondbacks game.
The all-you-can-eat
seats.
seats.
All-you-can-eat seats, and that's how I was going to finish however many hot dogs were left on the ledger. But we pivoted to the wings because my wife was like,
There was health concerns.
There were health concerns, yes. By my wife in particular. So that's why we pivoted to another Joey Chestnut world record.
Because you can do a lot with wings. You can.
Right. It's a lot of wings, man. It's a lot of wings. All right, what else we got by ourselves?
We got through 2. We're 11 minutes.
You know what? It's the eve of the NFL draft.
Devin Booker will have
Who
one huge
cares?
game leading to the Suns stealing at least one game in this series.
I don't think they get swept.
Legacy game.
I don't think they get swept. Well, I don't know if it'll be a legacy game because if he does it when they're down 3-0, that's just avoiding the sweep, really going the gentleman's sweep. I think they win a game. They either win. This is going to be, you want to talk about why they pay me the big bucks? They either win tonight or they win game 3 in Phoenix. That's it. I think those are the 2 games they have the best chance of winning. Tonight, because Oklahoma City kind of feels like they can just kind of roll over after what happened in game 1 and they take the Suns lightly. The Suns hit them with a nice little counterpunch. Or 2-0 coming back to Phoenix. Phoenix wants to make sure we don't lose immediately at home. They win game 3. I think they win one of the next 2.
I think that's fair to say.
Gosh, if they win tonight, doesn't it kind of it changes everything about the series if they win tonight?
Changes everything. The feeling coming home, ticket prices skyrocket.
And I also think you can kind of twist yourself into the idea that they have a shot if they win tonight. They steal a game on the road in Oklahoma City. It's now advantage Phoenix.
Technically.
Right. That's how it works.
The Cardinals will add another offensive lineman in the first 2 days of the draft.
I'm sorry. You said the first 2 days?
Correct.
Pick 65 going to do a lot of heavy lifting there. Because I think that's the only pick they're going to have. I think it's the only pick they're going to have on day 2. So that's going to have to do a lot of the work.
A lot of the work.
Because at 3, I think it's Love. And if it's not Love, I think it's David Bailey. I think 34, they're coming up for Simpson. So pick 65. Get me an offensive tackle, baby.
Jordan Tyson will go in the top 10. Wow, I mean, talk about all over the map on Jordan Tyson this draft season.
No,
I've seen him mocked as late as 25. I've seen him mocked as early as 5.
Yeah, but the Giants took him out to dinner. So
at Uchi. By the way, have you been? Oh, you're not a sushi guy, are you?
No, hate sushi.
Yeah, so me and my girlfriend went to Uchi. Lovely place.
Yeah, I am not a fan of sushi.
Yeah, we really liked it. Solid spot. It's a great job. Credit to Joe Shane. He hasn't done much good. Nice job, Joe. Yes. So the Giants will take Jordan Tyson at 5 or 10.
I think the Chiefs could take him at 9.
I keep seeing this growing feeling that New Orleans could take him at 8.
They could.
I don't see that happen.
There are going to be teams that have him as their number 1 wide receiver.
Plenty of teams.
And it could be New Orleans. So yeah, I think there's a pathway for him to being a top 10 player.
ASU will have 2 first-round picks for the first time since 2000.
So we're getting Tyson. So you're asking me, are we getting Maxi Honachor? Is what you're asking me. I think we are.
I seemingly agree.
Teams have a need for offensive linemen.
Yeah. Good tackles are hard to come by.
Good tackles are hard to come by, yes.
All right, this next one. This one might knock your socks off. Monty only wants to take Jeremiah Love so he can stop the narrative that he hasn't drafted a Pro Bowler.
Oh, okay. No. He's not looking for the freebie. He's drafting Jeremiah Love because he thinks he's the best player.
Because he thinks he's a Pro Bowler.
No, because he
needs a freebie.
No, he's
because you can't look at this current roster and say, you know what we need? A running back third overall.
Especially after you sign Tyler Algier and then restructured James Conner. I just want to be clear on what this is, and I'll get close to the mic so everybody can hear me. A terrible decision. I think he would be doing it because he
wants a Pro Bowler.
No, because he thinks Jeremiah Love is the best player and he will help the Arizona Cardinals. But it did cross my mind of, well, we probably would be a Pro Bowler.
And then people can't say that to him. He's like, well, I drafted Jeremiah Love. Yeah. How did that help the team, Monty? You won 4 games.
I think if they take Jeremiah Love, it's because they're also getting Ty Simpson.
So we'll see what he does.
Also, I just saw on social media.
I just can't believe he's still the general manager of this football team.
Tom Pelissero. There's a clip from the Rich Eisen show. I need to listen to it. But the tweet says, Carson Beck = first rounder, ? Tom Pelissero told us to be ready for anything in the NFL draft. Again, I have not listened to the clip, but just the way they're teasing the clip.
I'm sorry.
I don't think so.
I want to be very clear.
I will take the under on Carson Beck being a first-round quarterback. Because that means there's 3 quarterbacks going in the first round? No.
This is the same thing we did last year of could Tyler Shuck go in the first round?
And he did not. Yeah, no, I don't think Carson Beck will be a...
No way. There's not enough there. And he had some really nice seasons in college. There's not enough talent.
480
from a physical standpoint. Sorry.
Is that it on By Yourself?
Yeah, that's it on By Yourself.
Well, the music was gone, so I didn't know if we needed more music.
That's it on By Yourself.
480-864-1060, the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. When we come back, it is a dueling draft, NFL draft edition. We'll do it next. The lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
ASU baseball this Wednesday night right here on KDUS AM 1060. Join the Sun Devils as they take on New Mexico State for another midweek matchup. Head coach Lee Bloomquist is ready to show that his team's strengths don't take weekdays off. Join the voice of the Sun Devils, Tim Healy, on the call live. It's ASU versus New Mexico State this Wednesday. Pregame at 6:15 p.m. and first pitch at 6:35 right here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and the KDUS app.
This is Michael with Restore My Civil Rights. I made a lot of poor decisions in my past that had lifelong consequences. After I was released from prison for the last time in 2014, I discovered the process to have my convictions dismissed and all of my rights restored, including my Second Amendment rights. Since achieving this for myself in 2018, our attorney has assisted over 3,000 others in doing the same. If you are still living under the consequences of past mistakes and would like to restore your rights as I have, visit RestoreMyCivilRights.com and book a free consultation today.
Foreigner, celebrating 50 years.
You're as cold as ice.
5 decades of hit songs. Come alive on one stage. Foreigner. Sunday, October 18th, Talking Stick Resort. Tickets on sale now at TalkingStickResort.com. All the hits on one stage. Foreigner, celebrating 50 years, live.
Today's letter is A. A is for affordability. A is for attainable, accessible, and adding a Toyota to your driveway. For afternoon errands, AM commutes, and adventures across the valley. For carpools and coffee runs, weekend plans, and all the miles ahead. Across the lineup, these are the A's that add up. Toyota, the A in affordability. Right now, get 4.99% for 72 months on a new 2026 Camry or Corolla. Or get 2.99% APR financing for 72 months on Tundra. Or 3.99% for 60 months on Tacoma. See your Valley Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. 4.99% financing with 1887 for 1,000 bar for 60 months. 2.99% financing with 1519 for 1,000 bar for 72 months. 3.99% financing with 1841 for 1,000 bar for 60 months. Zero down payment if you qualify. Offers exclude TRD Pro models and N5426. See dealer for details.
Above the noise. Since Ben Roethlisberger walked away in 2022, the Steelers have been stuck in the same loop. They're competitive, but the potential is capped. Every season feels familiar, just good enough to hang around, never quite dangerous enough to be taken seriously once the playoffs begin. And more often than not, it traces back to the same issue, the quarterback. Instead of finding a long-term answer, Pittsburgh has cycled through short-term bandages, temporary solutions meant to stabilize but not elevate. Now, with the new regime in place, there's an opportunity to reset the approach, but instead, the same pattern continues. The Steelers are waiting again on Aaron Rodgers, a decision that has effectively frozen their offseason. Draft flexibility feels limited. Nothing wrong with a short-term fix, but at some point, the bill comes due. And for Pittsburgh, that bill is starting to look awfully expensive. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. 2 words, prostate exam. Relax. Screening starts with a simple finger-free blood test. Around 1 in 8 men in the United States will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime. Prostate cancer can have over a 99% 5-year relative survival rate when caught at a localized or regional stage. If you're 40 or over and have a prostate, visit relaxitsabloodtest.com to see if a PSA blood test is right for you. Talk to your doctor about screening and the next steps. Sponsored by Novartis. When money's tight and you're behind, it can be tough to play catch up. But Liberty Mutual can help you make a comeback, a fourth quarter go-ahead drive, if you will. Liberty Mutual is clutch by customizing your car and home insurance to save you money, especially when you bundle. It's insurance built for real people with a team that works hard to help keep more of what matters most in your pocket, money. Liberty, 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 liberty. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local independent agent, libertymutual.com.
Every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. is MMA Friday on the Sports Zoo with official UFC ranker Scott Lewis, brought to you by RT O'Sullivan, your home for every UFC event. The Sports Zoo is the only show in the Valley that gives you 1 full hour of MMA every week, featuring Scott Lewis's official UFC ranking changes, fight predictions for every weekly event, shocking MMA stories, and more. So tune in every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. and head to RT O'Sullivan's every Saturday to watch the fights. Go to rtosullivans.com for a location near you.
Okay, it is a Wednesday, which means we got a draft. Producer Evan, we've got a fun draft here today. Are you ready for this one?
I'm pumped for this, John.
You don't
for this one.
You don't sound pumped.
Why do you say that?
Well, it was a pause there that concerned me.
Yes, that was due to me having to go hit the mic button.
You were doing a lot of work back there.
Well, that beginning of the segment, that music's got to come down a little quicker because we got draft music, and then I got to get to my button.
It's true. So it was 2 weeks ago we did no, was it last week?
It was last week for the months. You talking about?
No, 2 weeks ago it was the Masters, and we
Correct.
drafted Masters champions.
Correct.
So similarly to that.
None of us got one.
But similarly to that, we are trying to draft players that we think the Cardinals are going to take.
Yes,
So-
and you were up first.
I'm up first. That's trouble. Do you want the number 1 pick?
No.
I'll give it to you.
I wouldn't like it. I'm so interested to see what you do.
I know, because I'm in a box now. And so, by the way, these are not just going to be all first-round names, because obviously right now they only have one first-round pick. So these are going to be guys that we think they could take at any point. And so if you think that we're just throwing darts at a dartboard, it's basically what we're doing. But this is our way of kind of getting you ready for the NFL draft. Boy, there's two ways to do this. Oh, there's like 3 names in my head. And this is going to set up so well for you if I don't take. Oh, you sure you don't want the number 1 pick?
I do not want the number 1 pick. I would like the 2nd and 3rd pick.
David Bailey.
Whoa. I'll take them both.
Yeah. You taking Love and Simpson?
Yep.
Yeah, it's what I was afraid of. Code says trade back, Chris. I tried to trade back. He didn't want to make a move.
It's impossible to trade back.
I found myself literally in the position the Cardinals are in. I wanted to move back. Nobody was calling the phone. Trust me, I would have picked up immediately. All right. So now Arvell Reese is still there. So I could kind of hedge against your Love and Simpson by taking Bailey and Reese, although they're not going to get both of those guys. So I think I want to go in a different direction. They're going to take a tackle at some point, aren't they? Man, if they trade with the Chiefs. No, they're going to stay at 3. Give me the tackle out of Iowa, Jennings Dunker. First time you've heard me say that guy's name on the program. That's what I'm taking with my number 2 pick. Okay. Now I need they're going to take an interior offensive lineman, right? At some point.
You would imagine.
Let me look at this big board here and see. And he loves Big Ten guys, SEC guys, right?
That's what he's known for.
Maybe they stay at 34. You know what? Give me Chase Basantes. Texas A&M kid. Chase Basantes. My number 3 pick. Now I gotta look at a big board here. Oh, we need an edge rusher, right? At some point.
You ready? Is it my pick now?
You're up for 2.
Yeah, I'm up for 2. On the first one.
Bunch of names on the board.
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to try and.
You're going deep, right? You're going like.
I'm going to try and attack that 65 spot.
Right. That's kind of what I was doing with Dunker.
What about Anthony Hill Jr.?
Anthony.
Linebacker out of Texas.
Went linebacker, huh?
Yeah.
Somebody in that range? Okay.
That's a guy I think I could see going.
Okay. So you're going Anthony Hill Jr. So I'll get you down for Hill Jr. By the way, we're not going to be able to grade this draft until Monday. So.
Yes. That's very true.
I'm so confident. I'm writing my guy down.
It's so hard to say. Once you get into this area, I just don't know.
You know what you're doing? You're throwing a dart at a dartboard. I mean, You're just guessing. But I will tell you though, we get any of these right, boy,
you feel great about it.
You're taking a victory lap.
What about Derek Moore out of Michigan, the edge rusher?
So you went with somebody. So you're really attacking that. You're just taking a bunch of dart throws at 65, huh? I'm looking at that same range. Trying to think of what Monty has done in the past. Give me Zion Young, the edge out of Missouri.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
And then I'll take a dart
throw. If they stay at 34, I like him a lot.
And then I'm going to take a dart throw at the linebacker position.
Okay.
This is like way later in the draft, but teams love to do this. Give me Keyshawn Elliott out of ASU.
Yeah. I would have taken that.
Well, you took Hill Jr., so I didn't think you were going to take another linebacker.
That's late, though. I mean, you're talking about 6th, 7th round.
Right, I'm day 3 dart throw, baby.
All right, so you're done.
I'm done.
I have one more. Yeah.
Now, the only place you've messed up, I think, is if they only take Simpson, right?
Then
and they take like Arvell Reese because he's there at 3, although I don't think he's going to be.
My problem is
you wasted your top pick.
My problem is they're not taking, like, once you took David Bailey, that's the only guy they would take 3 that isn't named Jeremiah Love.
I think Arvell Reese could be in play.
He's going to the Jets. He's not going to be there.
I agree with you. But if he is there.
So, okay, in a Cowboys style / Kansas City style trade back, give me Maui Noah.
Oh, you think they're in position to take him, and so you're hedging. I kind of like that.
Just in case.
Just in case. Yeah, no, that's smart. He's on the board. Yeah, so you get yourself another first-round swing. I mean, you got 3 guys, though, that are first-round swings. But
if they walk away with the 2, which is something we've talked about.
But if they walk away with Simpson, there is a chance they can also walk away with Love or Maui Noah. Those are not mutually exclusive.
I feel like I'm in play. At max, I think I hit 3.
I could technically hit all 5.
You could. Because you're a little bit more spread out.
I have different positions. I'm more spread out.
I attacked a couple dart throws at really their first couple picks of the draft.
Yeah. 2 interesting strategies.
Yeah, I'm interested to walk through our list here.
David Bailey, Jennings Dunker, Chase Basantis, Zion Young, and Keyshawn Elliott for me.
For me, it was Jeremiah Love, Ty Simpson, Derek Moore, Anthony Hill Jr., and Francis Maui Noah.
So there you have it. Us calling our shot. Players we think the Cardinals may pick at any point over the next 3 days starting tomorrow. I set the over-under at total picks we get right at 1.5. Maybe it should just be 0.5.
I think we'll get Ty Simpson right. I think it's 1.5. Because
I think we get Simpson, and then I think we either get one of Bailey or Love.
Right.
We may get to 2.
Because we have Maui Noah, Love, and Bailey.
Michael says, if this good luck. Thanks.
You know, it'd be huge if we hit one of the back half ones.
Oh, if I hit Zion Young.
If they take Keyshawn Elliott in the 7th round.
I mean, just a victory lap. That would be like my Justin Rose pick was my last Masters pick. It would be great. There you have it. Another dueling draft for you. We'll see how well we did. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also chat away with us. We've been shouting out people all day over there, the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, if it's not Jeremiah Love, then who should it be? We'll talk about it next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
ASU baseball this Wednesday night right here on KDUS AM 1060. Join the Sun Devils as they take on New Mexico State for another midweek matchup. Head coach Willie Bloomquist is ready to show that his team's strengths don't take weekdays off. Join the voice of the Sun Devils, Tim Healy, on the call live. It's ASU versus New Mexico State this Wednesday. Pregame at 6:15 p.m. and first pitch at 6:35 right here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS.com and the KDUS app.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Over 35 years, I've seen it all. Car crashes, work injuries, defective products, medical mistakes, lives flipped upside down in an instant. But I've also seen something else, the power of fighting back, the power of winning. Over $30 billion recovered and counting. Size matters, reputation matters, results matter. There's only one Morgan & Morgan.
Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Arizona lawyer will handle Arizona cases. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Get ready for a night of rock with the Gene Simmons Band.
You know your man is working hard.
Saturday, August 22nd, 8 p.m. The Salt River Grand Ballroom at Talking Stick Resort. The Gene Simmons Band performing your favorite classic hits. Reserve seats on sale now at Ticketmaster. Don't miss the Gene Simmons Band.
This is Arizona's biggest name in gaming. Whether it's the brilliantly brand new White Tanks or the always spectacular West Valley right down the street, we've got you covered with the hottest slots and tables, state-of-the-art sports book, dazzling dining like the legendary Morton's The Steakhouse, entertainment, and more. The brand new Desert Diamond White Tanks and Desert Diamond West Valley.
An enterprise of the Donald Automation. Hey, I'm John Ray, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. An engagement ring might be one of life's biggest purchases. That's why our rings come with an all-inclusive free lifetime warranty that gives you peace of mind without any fine print. How can we offer such an incredible warranty? We take pride in crafting our rings with care and stand behind our quality craftsmanship. After all, this is a family heirloom you'll own forever. Bring in your ring for cleaning, resizing, and repairs anytime you want. We'll make sure it's as sparkly and secure as the day you bought it, fixing prongs, replacing side stones, and so much more. This type of maintenance could cost you $2,000 or more somewhere else. Under our warranty, it's all free. We even protect your diamond. Other warranties don't. Our rings are crafted to last. But in the rare case you lose your diamond, we'll replace it. At Shane Company, your engagement ring purchase isn't just a one-time transaction. We're here to be your jeweler for life, because a friend always has your back. Come by to learn more in store or visit shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Right now at Mark Kia in Scottsdale, receive a 0% APR for up to 60 months on a brand new 2026 Kia EV9.
That's right, 0%. Or you can take advantage of up to $10,000 dealer bonus cash on the 2025 Kia EV6. If rising gas prices got you down, just think of how much you'll save on fuel costs by switching to an EV.
Go to markkia.com to see our full inventory of electric vehicles. The name to remember, Mark Kia, Mark Kia. 1667 per thousand borrowed. Offer expires May 4th, 2026.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Tom Izzo, Michigan State head basketball coach.
I've had more than a couple job offers in the NBA and looked at one last year with Phoenix, and my former player, Matt Ispia. And that was hard. That was a hard thing to turn down because, number one, I kind of wanted to go with him. Number two,
so they offered you the head coaching job?
Well, we talked seriously about it. Let's say that.
Weekdays, 6 to 9 a.m. on KDUS AM 1060.
We opened the show today exploring what it would be like if the Cardinals landed both Jeremiah Love and Ty Simpson. But let's just say that we believe Stephen Jones when he says that moving into the top 5 if you're the Dallas Cowboys, not possible. If we don't think the Cardinals are going to get any bites from Kansas City or any of the other teams behind them, and they have to stay at number 3. And let's say that it's not Jeremiah Love at that pick. Who might it be? Is it going to be Arvell Reese? Is it going to be David Bailey? Is it going to be one of the tackles? Well, what if I told you that there's a soundbite that may be the answer for us? Because as a part of the NFL draft, they do a lot of community outreach stuff. And I believe there are a bunch of the top prospects who are there in Pittsburgh ahead of the draft tomorrow that were doing, I think it's like NFL Cares, or they were doing some type of community event. And so they were at like a local high school, it seemed like, or middle school or something. That's at least what it looked like in the video. And so a bunch of media there. And where I got this audio clip is from SNY, who covers the New York Jets. And the reason why I saw it is because the question was originally about the Jets. And you're going to hear the question in the clip because I think it's important context to put it in there. So this is a reporter for SNY asking David Bailey about his opportunity, what he thinks of the New York Jets.
What have your interactions been like with the Jets?
It's been good, man. I've talked with Monty on the phone.
Wait, David. Hold on. I'm going to need that one more time. Hold on. So asked about what have been your interactions like with the New York Jets? Because remember, they canceled David Bailey's top 30 visit late in the process. So, all right, let's maybe I misheard because I heard something there that seemed a little interesting to me. So one more time, let's play it. David Bailey, your thoughts on the New York Jets?
It's been good, man. I've talked with Monty on the phone a couple times.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. You talk with who on the phone? I'm going to need this. I'm going to need this one more time, producer. One more time, David Bailey. You talked with the New York Jets.
Man. I've talked with Monty on the phone a couple times.
Monty, you've talked with Monty a couple of times on the phone. Monty, that's That's not the general manager of the New York Jets. That would be Darren Muji would be the general manager of the New York Jets. Monty is the general manager of the Arizona Cardinals.
And I get it. Muji's tough. I avoided it yesterday during the NFL news stuff.
Now, maybe this was just a Freudian slip, right? Maybe, I don't know what the other questions were before this, and so maybe the Cardinals came up. But being asked a question about the Jets, and by the way, we didn't play the whole cut. He goes on to talk about how his 30 visit got canceled. So he knows he's talking about the Jets, but he said Monty.
It's been good, man. I've talked with Monty on the phone a couple of times.
Talked with Monty on the phone a couple of times. Now, did he mean to say Darren Muji, or has he actually been talking to Monty on the phone a couple of times? You pair this, and I don't have this audio clip, but you pair this with Arvell Reese basically saying, Aaron Glenn, the coach of the Jets, basically told me what my role was going to be in the Jets defense.
He might as well have given him the playbook.
David Bailey, in one quote there, ruined the smokescreen leverage of two franchises. In just that clip, even though it was probably an honest mistake, he ruined the leverage of both the Jets at number 2 and the Cardinals at number 3. Because I don't know if he meant to say that or if it was just an accident.
I can't imagine he meant to say that.
But if he did, he's had a lot of conversations with Monty, so I know who the pick's going to be if it's not Jeremiah Love. And by the way, David Bailey would make a ton of sense because we've been talking about this team getting another pass rusher alongside Josh Sweat. So it would make a ton of sense for them to get David Bailey. Now, Bailey comes with his fair share of risks. His ability to defend the run is chief among them. But I just the day before the draft at an event saying, I've talked with Monty on the phone a couple of times while you're answering a question about another franchise. The question was about the Jets. He knew it was about the Jets because he talked about his top 30 visit being canceled. So maybe it's just a slip up. Muji, Monty, it can happen to the best of us, right? Or he actually has been having a ton of conversations on the phone with Monty because he knows he's not going to New York because it looks like that's going to be Arvell Reese. And so this is going to go Mendoza, Reese, Bailey, 1, 2, 3. And everything we talked about in the open about Love and Simpson, it may be David Bailey and Ty Simpson. It may be David Bailey at 3, and then it may be a trade up for Ty Simpson in the back part of the first round. How many times did I play this clip in the morning meeting? I was stunned every time I played it.
11 plus times.
Like he just said, he very clearly asked a question about the Jets. He knew it was a question about the Jets, and he said Monty anyway.
What have your interactions been like with the Jets?
It's been good, man. I've talked with Monty on the phone a couple of times.
Talked with Monty on the phone a couple of times. Not like you remember a couple of years ago we had the blue dress and the black dress. Remember this?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Do you remember the gold and the white one?
That's what I meant, right? So different people.
A couple of years ago. I mean, that a decade plus ago.
Okay, but it's the only thing I can think of that's a one-to-one analogy, okay? Depending on what you saw, you had a different, people in the same room looking at the same picture came to two different conclusions.
Correct.
This isn't one of those where he might have said Muji and it sounded like Monty. No, it was very clearly, he just said, I've been on the phone a couple of times with Monty.
Yeah.
If you're somebody in the Cardinals front office, you probably heard that and you're like, even if it was a mistake, it just absolutely destroyed our leverage.
I feel bad for David Bailey. He probably walked out of an interview and was like, nailed it, crushed it. What a great look. And realized he slipped up once. Nothing bad.
And again,
and only just replaced Muji with Monty.
It's probably just an honest mistake, but I just can't help but think of, if it wasn't, just the implications of two teams who have been trying to drum up interest in their picks because they're trying to move down. And this happens, and everybody goes, Arvell Reese is going 2, David Bailey's going number 3. Got it. Okay, so we don't have to worry about if you're Tennessee, you're not worried about Jeremiah Love not being there at 4 now. After you hear this.
It's been good, man. I've talked with Monty on the phone a couple of times.
Yeah, okay. Well, you've talked on the phone a couple of times with Monty. Have you talked on the phone with Darren Muji? Because here's the other part of it that's so funny. They canceled this top 30 visit. So by him saying I talked on the phone a couple of times with Monty and not saying Muji, I think the follow-up is, well, have you talked to Darren Muji?
Well, Here's the craziest part is he continues on to just talk about the Jets. Here's the full clip.
Interaction's been like with the Jets.
It's been good, man. I've talked with Monty on the phone a couple of times. Obviously, they canceled my 30 visit, so I wasn't able to get around the facility and kind of have like an in-depth conversation with all the staff and everything. But I had a great interaction with them at the combine, and then obviously like whatever FaceTime calls we've been having.
So he described his experience with the Jets, but he just said Monty instead of Muji. And I don't know what to do with it. I don't know what it means. It could mean absolutely nothing.
You add this to him canceling his top 30 meeting, and it feels like a snowball.
He's not going to be the pick at number 2 to the Jets.
Congratulations to Arvell Reese.
I mean, his top 30 visit gets canceled. In this, he says Monty, not Muji. Arvell Reese says what he says today. Like, there's no world where he's the pick at number 2 to the Jets.
The draft starts at 3.
Maybe the draft starts at 4 because he's been talking to Monty so much. I played it so much in the morning meeting. Like I played it over and over and over again.
I can't believe this is going to be the draft is awesome because this would be a big story.
Oh, I can't wait for tomorrow. I just can't. We're going to get to find out. We're going to get to find out if this means something, if it means absolutely nothing.
But we're going to have all the answers.
But I know this. David Bailey had a lot of conversations with Monty.
All he had was conversations with Monty.
If you were somebody in the Jets and the Giants, or the Jets and the Cardinals, you're just like, just destroys your leverage. It just destroys your leverage.
It's crushing.
Even if it was just a slip, a mistake.
And which I think it is.
Which I mean, Occam's razor, right? The most likely solution is the most likely reason is the reason, right?
And he could, by the way, he might have one call with Monty. And it may have just been 10 minutes prior to this interview.
Right. There could be so many reasons why he says Monty instead of
like
Muji.
It could have been his second time talking to Monty, but it could have been 20 minutes prior to this event.
Mendoza 1, Arvell Reese 2, David Bailey 3 is my current prediction for tomorrow night.
I still think it's Jeremiah Love.
Well, it could be. Let me tell you who it's not. It's not going to be Arvell Reese. It's either going to be Love or Bailey. 480-86. Can I get it one more time? I need it one more time before I go to break. Just once more. David Bailey, your thoughts on the New York Jets?
What have your interactions been like with the Jets?
It's been good, man. I've talked with Monty on the phone a couple of times. Obviously, they canceled my 30 visit, so I wasn't able to get around the facility and kind of have like an in-depth conversation with all the staff and everything. But I had a great interaction with them at the combine, and then obviously like whatever FaceTime calls we've been having. So
certainly sounds like it. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also chat away with us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, it's all the stories we didn't get to here today on the program. We call them the leftovers. We get to them next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
Every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. is MMA Friday on the Sports Zoo with official UFC ranker Scott Lewis, brought to you by RTO Sullivan's, your home for every UFC event. The Sports Zoo is the only show in the Valley that gives you 1 full hour of MMA every week, featuring Scott Lewis's official UFC ranking changes, fight predictions for every weekly event, shocking MMA stories, and more. So tune in every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. and then head to RTO Sullivan's every Saturday to watch the fights. Go to RTOSullivans.com for a location near you.
If you're hurt in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, choose the attorneys at Sweet James. They help you navigate the legal process and pursue the compensation you may be entitled to. Free case review. Help available 24/7. Hablamos Español. 800-9-MILLION. 800-9-MILLION. SweetJames.com. This advertisement is paid for by Sweet James LLP. Responsible attorney, Bobby Tick-Heavy. Offices in California. No guarantee of results.
With Bet365 Early Payout, you win even if they lose. Get paid out instantly when your team goes up big, even if they blow the lead later. Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona.
Weezer, The Gathering, live in Phoenix. playing at Mortgage Matchup Center October 20th with special guests, The Shins and Silver Sun Pickups. Get tickets now at livenation.com. 3 incredible bands for one night only. Weezer, The Shins, and Silver Sun Pickups. For more, visit Weezer.com.
Low T? Start for free. For a limited time, get prescription testosterone therapy with no startup fee only at Red Mountain Weight Loss. Hey, just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to feel older. Prescription testosterone gives you more energy, stamina, and it'll help you lose weight. Gain more muscle with less effort in the gym and lose that dad bod for good. You'll also think better, sleep better, and your love life will be better too. Look, don't be fooled. Nothing boosts testosterone like actual testosterone. So skip the gimmicks and get prescription strength testosterone now at Red Mountain Weight Loss. Get back to enjoying life with the T levels you had in your 20s. It's a game changer. So don't wait. If you've got low T, get started for free. Meet with a board-certified medical provider online with no waiting from the convenience of your home or office. Book today and feel like yourself again, only at Red Mountain Weight Loss. Go to redmountainweightloss.com or dial pound 250 on your phone, keyword Red Mountain. Red Mountain Weight Loss, real testosterone, real doctors, real results.
Join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Beerstein.
Was Kevin Durant out because it is a 7-game series and we could afford to lose a game? Maybe. I was surprised to see him on the bench. Everyone was surprised. The odds makers were surprised. Who knew that the Houston Rockets without Durant can't find someone to make a bucket? You know, Sengun's a very good player, and in years past, he might have been the guy to try and carry the load, but it didn't look good at all for the Rockets without KD.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m.
All right, before we get to the leftovers, talking about David Bailey, the New York Jets, and the Arizona Cardinals, we have a Jets fan who's called in that thinks he can put the puzzle together for me. So Rich in Scottsdale was listening to the last clip. Rich, what do you got for us?
It's funny because so many people anywhere can't say Moji. They either call him the GM or they call him Mr. GM or something. But leaving that aside, they've talked to him, Muji, Glenn, their director of scouting, and their scout for the Southwest region at every event. And when he did his pro day, they stayed over an extra day and they had dinner with him. And one of the reasons they said that they dropped him off of the top 30 list is that they had a couple of other players who they weren't sure on, who they wanted to get in and talk to. One of them was the South Dakota State quarterback and some other linebacker at the D2 level. But it goes back and forth. Glenn spent a lot of time with Reese because he wants to use him a lot of different ways, where Bailey's a plug and play. And they've gone back and forth with this. And the discussion in New York is they get a good trade. They may move down a little bit if they think one of them's still going to be available if the person they're trading with wants love.
Yeah, Rich, we'll see. Appreciate the phone call. The smoke screen season is in full effect, and I still think we've got a couple more wrinkles before we get to tomorrow night, and we'll see if the canceling of the 30 visit was to maybe throw a wrinkle in there for everybody. They've done a lot of homework, and the draft really starts at 2, and there are a lot of teams that want to see if David Bailey fall, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of teams that will be interested if Arvell Reese isn't the pick at number 2. Producer Evan, it's time for the leftovers.
Real quick.
Sure.
I just want to say these top 30 visits mean something. They do mean something in the grand scheme of the NFL. The projection of how many times you meet with a player to how many times you select them in the top 30 or in the first round is a lot.
And I think in the case of David Bailey, right, I don't know if there's an example of a team picking this high, canceling their top 30 visit this late in the process with that prospect, and then still taking that player.
Correct.
Doesn't mean that the Jets aren't taking David Bailey. It's unusual.
I just don't know what it's the same thing kind of that we've talked about with some of these guys. It would be abnormal. It would be an anomaly.
It's just, it is, I don't think it's nothing. It may not be everything, but I think it's something.
100%.
All right, what do we got in the leftovers? By the way, thank you to Rich for calling in. believe that's the first time we talked to Rich, and I could feel a little East Coast New York accent in there.
Certainly.
I got a little East Coast vibe.
As two East Coasters.
I can tell.
Yep. No, Rich, great call. So we'll start with George Pickens going to play this year for the Cowboys.
Well, that's according to the Cowboys. That's
Under
not
a
according to George
franchise,
Pickens.
under a franchise tag, according to the Cowboys. So my question for you is, where will George Pickens suit him up this year? Because he'll be traded during camp.
You think they take a receiver at 12?
I'm starting to. I think it's really real.
Either at 12 or 20, and they trade Pickens?
Please don't take that.
Okay, what? So we have two jersey-related things to keep an eye on tomorrow.
I won't buy it.
No, I know. If he goes to the Panthers, you're getting a Tyson Panthers jersey.
Correct.
And then I have said that I will get a Jeremiah Love. What's the name of that jersey? Desert Heat?
Yeah, the Desert Storm.
Desert Storm?
No, that's definitely not it. Desert Nights.
Desert something. We looked this up. We literally did this bit like last week. Not saying, no. I'm going to find it here.
I know it's the Rivals jersey. What is it called?
Yeah, hold on.
Sand Blasted?
No, hold on. It's the Rivalries collection, but they have name for it, and they just don't have it here on the.
Yeah, I can't.
Let me tell you what I'm not going to order is the $40 on clearance Kyler Murray version of the jersey.
You should get that one.
I don't think I'm going to.
What if Jeremiah Love decides he wants to wear one?
Well, okay, but that's.
Would you tape over it?
That's a good way to get it on a bargain. That's a good way to get a cheap jersey.
Certainly a great way to get a cheap jersey.
These had names, didn't they?
I thought they did.
Sandblasted.
That's what I said.
That's what it said. I thought it was Desert something. Whatever. But I will be getting a Jeremiah Love version if he is selected number 3 overall. My wife doesn't know about it yet, but probably going to hate that charge to the credit card.
Yeah, I'll be getting a Jordan Tyson.
Honey, what is this? Don't worry about it.
Are we going to have to wear them the day they come in?
Made a stupid bet on the show. She's going to be like, oh, just another one? Because I have the 250 wings that I have to eat.
And you know it's really getting upsetting for you? It becomes more like the day they take it.
I mean, the jersey is cool.
Yes, it is.
But I don't know. I'm going to have to get a custom, I think. Which means I'm going to have to wait to see what number he's going to wear.
What do you wear at Notre Dame? 4?
Yeah. I think so. Is that what he wore at Notre Dame?
I got to tell you, I went to Notre Dame not last season, the season before. So his sophomore season.
Okay.
He is unbelievable. He is unbelievable.
I don't think I've ever once said he's a bad player.
But I just still would not take a running back there.
Hoping they don't.
George Pickens should be an Arizona Cardinal.
I don't. No, I think I'm okay.
Why not?
Let's give LaFleur a year to work with Michael Wilson and Marvin Harrison Jr. before we complicate that room a little bit.
That's fair. It's not going to be a Dallas Cowboy.
No, he's going to be a
Baltimore Raven.
No, he's going to be a Miami Dolphin.
Kansas City Chief. He's a Kansas City Chief.
You're right. He's a Kansas City Chief. It's a great call by you. What else you got? We don't have much time.
I was going to say, do you want to start another story?
Sure.
Okay, so Bleacher Report did a mock draft called what they're calling the consensus mock draft. So they took all of their draft experts.
Okay.
And then put all of their mocks together.
Okay.
And then based on where like everybody was mocked, you then got put at the spot.
All right. What do you got?
So they averaged them out.
Just give me what the Cardinals do.
Yeah,
at 3.
Cardinals at 3. Edge rusher, David Bailey, Texas Tech.
That's right. Put 1 on the board for me. No jersey, 1 on the board for the dueling draft. That's a huge one. That's a huge swing.
It's a huge swing.
That's a huge swing. That's it. We're done. We're out of here. Jim Rome, he's coming up next. Producer Evan, thank you for all that you do. When the next time you hear from us, it will be draft day. That's right. It will be draft day. Everybody have a great rest of your Wednesday. We'll talk to you tomorrow. See ya.